On the far edge of a peaceful little village where fields touched the forest and the sky seemed close enough to touch, lived a tiny sparrow. She was small, so small that many birds didn't even notice her when she flew past. Her feathers were soft brown, her wings delicate, and her voice gentle. Compared to the proud eagle soaring high above the mountains or the colorful peacock who spread his beautiful feathers with pride, the sparrow looked simple and weak. But hidden inside her tiny body was something special, a heart filled with courage, love, and quiet strength. Every morning, when the sun rose and painted the sky orange, the little sparrow would fly out of her nest to collect food. She worked hard every day, not for herself, but for the 3 eggs she had carefully placed in a nest she had built high on a branch. That nest was her world. It was made of dry grass, soft leaves, and tiny twigs, arranged with such care that anyone who saw it knew it had been built with love. But one hot afternoon, something unusual happened. The sky, which had been bright a moment earlier, began to darken. Clouds gathered thickly above the forest. The wind picked up, rustling the trees in a strange, warning way. The animals sensed danger. Birds stopped singing. Squirrels hurried into their holes. The sparrow felt a strange fear settle in her heart. Then, without warning, a fierce storm broke loose. The forest shook as powerful winds tore through the trees. Branches snapped like matchsticks. Leaves swirled in the air. Thunder roared and lightning flashed, bright enough to make the sparrow close her eyes. Rain poured heavily, hitting the ground with loud splashes. One by one, the nests built high in the trees began to fall. Some birds cried helplessly as they watched their homes being destroyed. The little sparrow's nest, the one she had worked so hard to build, could not survive the storm. The wind ripped it apart, scattering pieces of it across the muddy ground. Her 3 precious eggs rolled out and tumbled into the mud below. With her heart pounding, she flew down through the heavy rain. Her wings trembled not from weakness but from fear. She reached the ground and rushed toward her eggs. 2 of them were cracked badly. She knew they could not be saved, but the 3rd egg, small, round, and fragile, was still whole. She pressed her beak against it gently and whispered, "I will protect you. No matter what happens, I will not leave you." But the storm was far from over. Rain continued to fall with force, and water began to rise around her. The egg was in danger of being swept away by the flooding ground. Other birds quickly flew to safer places, calling out to the sparrow to follow them, but she shook her head. She would not leave her egg behind. She tried to lift the egg with her beak, but it was too heavy for her tiny mouth. She tried again and again. Each time it slipped and fell back into the mud. Her wings were soaked, her feathers cold and heavy, but she refused to give up. A crow watching from a nearby tree began to laugh loudly. "Oh, little sparrow," he mocked, "why are you struggling? You're too small. That egg is too heavy for you. Save yourself. Let the storm take it." But the sparrow did not listen. She ignored the crow's cruel laughter. Instead, she used her claws to dig a small hollow in the muddy ground. Slowly, with determination, she pushed the egg into that shallow hole to stop it from being washed away. Then, though the rain stung her wings and made it hard to see, she gathered bits of grass, fallen leaves, and tiny twigs to cover the egg. All night long, she worked without rest. She shivered from the cold. Her body ached with exhaustion. But her heart stayed strong. Every time the wind tried to blow the covering away, she rebuilt it. Every time water rushed toward the egg, She blocked it with her wings. She didn't sleep. She didn't stop. She didn't even think of herself. She only thought of protecting the tiny life inside that egg. When morning finally arrived, the storm slowly faded. The angry clouds drifted away, leaving the forest quiet and broken. Many birds cried out in sadness over their lost nests and eggs. But when the sparrow looked at the little hollow she had made, the egg was still there, safe. She collapsed beside it, tired but relieved, her eyes filled with tears of gratitude. Over the next few days, she stayed close to the egg, warming it, guarding it, whispering soft songs of love. Then one morning, a tiny crack appeared. The sparrow watched with breathless joy as a small beak poked through. A weak but living baby sparrow finally emerged. The crow who had mocked her earlier now watched silently, his head lowered in shame. Other birds gathered around, amazed that the smallest and weakest among them had saved her child when many stronger birds had failed to save theirs. A wise old owl sitting on a branch above finally spoke. "Strength," he said, "does not come from size or power. It comes from a heart filled with courage and a spirit that refuses to give up." And from that day forward, the little sparrow became a symbol of determination and bravery. Her story spread throughout the forest, reminding everyone that the greatest victories are achieved not by strength, but by perseverance. That falling is not the end, rising again is what truly matters. So never give up. No matter how small or weak you feel, remember, courage, patience, and faith can protect dreams and turn them into reality. If this story inspired you, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more heart-touching stories.